Hey, welcome back everybody to another episode of Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Hey, if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, come on back anytime and hang out with us some more at Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. No, not that one. This one. Let's get into it. Well, some people might think, or some people may question, Ted, why are you upgrading a perfectly good Stratocaster? And guys, let me tell you, this Strat from Tease, this is the Tease ST-1, man, this Strat played great out of the box. It's perfectly fine. But you know, man, all things guitar, say it with me now, it's player preference. So my little journey began yesterday when I began to black out the ST-1. I've got some work to do that's related to that project and some that is not. I want to do two things to the neck pocket. One, I want to get this down to bare wood. I just prefer bare wood to bare wood connectivity between the neck and the neck pocket. That's just me. Now I know that the average person may never take their guitar apart or want to do any of this, and that's cool, man. Guess what? You do you, guys. You do you, man. Nothing that I do is prescriptive on the channel. It's just descriptive of my crazy journey. So, off camera, I deinstalled the output jack panel and jack, and I will more than likely, I believe that I have in my little bag of tricks in my possession, as it were, somewhere over here, I have a pure tone output jack. I will be putting one of these in my ST-1. Why? Player preference. Okay? So, I'm going to set this to the side, put it in the little bag of parts. I have taken most of the... Oh, guess I took all the screws out. So a couple things, when you're swapping out electronics on a Strat, there's two things to keep in mind. Number one, you have two wires that come from the electronics into the output jack, and I could have got the soldering iron out and detach those by way of soldering. I opted to just clip the two wires. And the other thing to keep in mind is that in the back of a Stratocaster, you have a ground wire that goes from the electronics of the pickguard, and it was attached here to the claw, soldered to the claw. So I snipped that as well. Okay. When I get my new electronics in, I will have to reground that to the new electronics. Okay. Now, I guess I could have went ahead and cut the cord on the pickguard side. However, I'm going to replace that wire with cloth push-pull wire. Okay. So, back to the question at hand. Why would you mess with a perfectly good Strat? Okay, well, player preference, number one. Everything about guitar playing is player preference. Oh, good shot of the goatee. Nice. Anyway, so we'll take this bad boy out. That ground wire should pull out, and the output jack wires should pull out, and so you'll see. So these are wax potted ceramic pickups, box switch, alpha pots, green chiclets, and like I said, I don't know if you've been following my journey or not, but the guitar sounded pretty good to my playing. I also mentioned in some of the vids that what I really would like to do is black this out, which I'm going to do. And although I've got a lot of room here to do a lot of different things, let me find a place to sit this. Though I've got a lot of room to do a lot of different things, swimming pool route being what it is, man. By the way, if you watch the under the hood of the Squire Classic Vibe, although it did not have a full square here, it did have fairly sizable slots as well. And I haven't thought about putting P90 or humbucker or anything in there, but anyway. So in this one, initially because I had the room, I thought, well, I'm going to do a humbucker. Hey, while we visit, I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to take this, I'm going to deinstall this bridge. I've never done that on a Strat. In fact, yeah, I don't know that I didn't have a reason to, or I didn't want to, or was afraid to. Probably a mixture of all of those things. But yeah, man, for me, I was thinking about the humbucker. I like a humbucker if I'm going to play some rock, you know, man. If I'm going to jam out, I like a nice humbucker. But here's the thing about me, man. My playing context is not rock and roll, man. As much as I say rock on, and I mean that with my whole heart. My playing context is not the rock and roll scene. My context is the joyful noise crowd, Jim. It's my good friend calls it the joyful noise crowd. That's a Bible code for you ain't got to be any good, you just have to be loud. I do a lot of church stuff, men's retreats, conferences, those kind of things, man. That's my context. So for my context, man, there's not a lot of need, if you will, for a humbucker, for that kind of heavy rocky kind of sound. So it's a rhythm and blues kind of funk worship band. I don't know how that sounds to you, but if that gives you a sense for the genre or not, a style of music, so to speak. I could be doing this with a drill and I'd be done, but we're just talking about guitars and life, aren't we? Yeah, man. So I'm okay with this. Actually, I might find a drill bit while we're talking and speed up this video. All this guy does is talk. I know, right? Hey, channel's called TED Talks. Yeah, but you could do something else from time to time. I'm steadily working on a guitar, man. Anyway. Haters gonna hate, you know? So, anyway, that said, man, since that's my context, you know, why would I put a humbucker in here? So, because I do intend to keep this guitar. And make it my own ride, man. One of the things that I intend to do, yeah, it does. I could be doing this much more efficiently. Thank you very much. Anyway, so because my context, not that, you know, you need a single coil. I mean, a lot of guys, man, in the context of music that I play 335s and, you know, LPs or whatever. It's all good, man. Hey, guess what? You do you, right? So, for me, man, what I'm going to do, I bought a black pick guard that is going to drop in here with all the electronics. I've never bought the brand before. When it gets here, we'll look at it together. But it's got 3 Alnico 5 single coils in it. And I think the pots are a little bit larger. You know, not that matters, man. You know, there's plenty of debates. You can listen to people all day long on the tubes, man. Debating full-size pots, alpha pots, whatever you want to do. Well, I've never done this before. Well, that was painless. Kind of anticlimactic, wasn't it? So let's talk about the trim for a minute. So this is, you know, man, a lot of people would look at that and go, man, that's really thin. You know, I like a thick trim block. Okay, that's cool. I don't know anything about trim blocks and why the thickness would even matter. Hey, put it in the comments if it matters to you, and tell us why it matters to you. So anyway, the trim block in the Strat, the Squire Classic Vibe, wasn't any larger than this, guys. You know, same size. So anyway, I need to put this with my other parts for the ST-1 because I believe those parts are good. I believe they're good enough. But I just wanted to upgrade, man, my pickups. And so 1, I wanted to do a pickup upgrade. And then 2, what I wanted to do more than anything was to black this out, and that's just cosmetic for the most part. I talked in the last video about how, you know, a couple of those feet things were not, the string guides were definite improvement, and I think the tuners are better than the tuners that were on there. But yeah, so the swimming pool route, the Tease ST-1, man, I think you could do just about anything you wanted to do. There's vids out there on the tubes of other guys doing stuff, and yeah, it ain't pretty, man, but it's functional under there, I suppose. So yeah, this is somewhat common in less expensive units where the screw hole close to the cavity gets a little close. So yeah, man. So anyway, I just want to address the elephant in the room. You know, because I know, man, maybe you're watching the channel and you're hanging out with me and you're thinking something like this, man. This guy does a lot of budget stuff. I do a lot of budget stuff. Ain't no joke about that. So why would he spend money unnecessarily on doing things that are not necessarily, you know, maybe even an improvement other than a cosmetic thing in some ways? Although again, I won't reiterate the need that I did feel I had for swapping out a couple things I did in the last video. So yeah, man. So for me, 1, I wanted better pickups. I wanted a little better sound. And will I get it? I don't know, man. I'm going to have to get those pickups in and install everything, put this bad boy back together, and I'll tell you what I'll do, man. We'll just, we'll pull out of the archives the plain vids from the first time I played this guitar, stock out of the box, and then you guys can tell me. Man, whether it's an improvement or not to your ears, and I will tell you what I hear to my ears, and we will move on down the road. But I did want to address the elephant in the room. That, yeah, man, to a large extent, if you're saying, man, that seems unnecessary, just know that from my point of view, yep, you're right. If I'm going to sit around the house and just jam, or if I'm going to hang out with some friends and casually jam, yeah, man, absolutely all day long, straight out the box. Okay? But for my context, man, if I'm going to play a gig, I want to do just a couple things to it and make it sound a little bit better in my old rock and roll hearing. And then 2, I want to make some cosmetic updates. Well, I just want to check in with you, man, while I was working on things, and I'm waiting on parts. Hopefully they'll all be here tomorrow, and I'll be able to tackle things on the old ST-1, and we'll see how she sounds, man. I know how she's gonna play. She's gonna play great. She's been playing great the whole time. So it ain't about playability, man. It's about pickups for me and cosmetics, man. Man, what a journey this old ST-1 is. Sweet deal from Tease, man. By the way, don't forget, man, in the description, you want to save $5 on something at Tease. Maybe you don't want the ST-1, man. Maybe you want an SBH. Bro, drop the code in, man. That's in the description. And save $5 on the channel and, you know, go down the road, man. If you don't want to buy a Tease, guess what? You do you, man. You ain't got to buy a Tease. I don't work for Tease. I ain't selling Tease. You know, all evidence to the contrary, some would say, man. But yeah, guys. Well, hey, man, that's my journey. Wherever you are in your guitar journey, man, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Hey, rock on with your bad selves, everybody. I'll catch you down the road. Bro, I keep telling you, man. It's Ted Talks Guitars and Life, bro. Dang.